Yep, and it's now match point for GENG. I think, you know, Space talked about it, I think GENG had a big draft advantage in the previous game, and I think that was the game where they really had a lot of tools in their favor. So KT gonna have to, I think, find themselves some better opportunities. I think a main thing for me is that because game 1 and game 2 was dominating, and then you stuck him on Skarner. That was what we expected them to do for Canyon, because Canyon was having a bit of a rough series. I want Cuz on a carry. I don't know what carry you're going to necessarily put him on, because obviously a lot of the pool's been thinned out, and it does get a little bit more difficult. There's still things like Silas available, for example. But definitely, I mean, now that I think about it, they could have put him on like Neferi last game into the Vi. We've seen Neferi into the Vi a lot, so yeah. Just put him on a carry. Don't put him on Skarner again. We do have 2 top lane bans coming out with the Jax and the Jace. Those when I see those, I think, oh, they want to go Gwen, but Gwen's been taken away by Fearless.
So Poppy and
just first pick for Necton. They want to secure a good matchup for Perfect and make sure he's comfortable, because he has been having a tough time in Akeen, and that is honestly where we have the biggest mismatch, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how much that's going to help. You know, getting comfort, sure, it feels good. Renekton can be good in the game 4 of a Fearless best of 5, but I don't know. I don't know if it's enough to get them across the line. We'll see what else they go with the draft, as we're looking at a Victor for Chovy, most likely.
Yeah, that's going to come through. So a lot of AoE teamfight damage, but very immobile in terms of the backline. A lot of the engaged supports have been taken away, though. And there's that Corki coming through for Ruler. Very late in the series, but it is the most played in round 3 to 5 by both Dokdam and Ruler, and a big comfort pick. And now you just already have this insane backline AoE damage threat from GENG. 2 strong scaling carries. And the question is, what are KT gonna do to respond to this? It's gonna be a snap up off the Nautilus, wanting to try and secure one of those remaining engaged supports. And also the Poppy is available, but Nautilus actually one of the better supports into Poppy, so yeah. You feel pretty okay if that does end up coming through. Duro obviously has picks he can play. You know, we've seen him play the Pike, we've seen him play the Blitzcrank. Definitely things he can go towards. But a lot of the other picks have been sort of thinned out. And the Ziggs is just going to come through for Dokdam. So,
yeah.
I mean, you have AD in the top lane. You could go like an AD mid as well here. Honestly, something like Maokai Yone could be pretty crazy. But I feel like that's probably going to get banned going in the second rotation.
Poppy's been banned quite a lot.
Even though I said
3 games
that Nautilus is one of the better engaged supports in a Poppy, that still doesn't mean that like you can still pick Poppy.
Yeah.
You know, it's still very good. That being said, the Ziggs here obviously outranges like the Victor quite hard. Into the Corki. Corki's pretty fine into it though, right? You're not immobile, so you're not under too much threat from getting like Mega Inferno Bombed. You can Valkyrie out of it. You can also trade poke a little bit with your rockets. You could just look to focus AD mids here. You could ban like Yone Tristana if you wanted. Or you could just look towards junglers and really hamper down the pool of Cuz. It really depends what you want to pick here.
Ivern.
And the Ivern.
I mean, it's not Maokai, but it's another tree.
This doesn't feel like that much of an Ivern comp to me. I would want setup for the Ziggs, because I guess maybe they're worried about like Ivern Trist, but then I would just ban the Trist. They do ban the Maokai though. I think that ban makes more sense.
Yeah. So no trees allowed.
You
not
could
in this
go
game.
Yone Sejuani for KT though. Like Renekton, Sejuani, Yone. Would be pretty good. I know I said I wanted Cuz on a carry, but I feel like your options are starting to get limited at this point. We'll see what they go. We'll see what GENG up to go for in this situation. That might telegraph a lot for KT as well. Obviously, they know the top lane matchup, presumably, is going to be Renekton, so they could just take Keen's pick. But if there's a jungle they want now, they should pick it up.
Oh,
so
just Blitzcrank
Poppy in the jungle, and they're going to go Blitzcrank in support. Okay,
Sure.
So keep the top lane pick to last. They do reveal the Poppy flex.
It is Duro's blitz, and you're playing into Ziggs. He's good at, you know, straight on engage, dealing with that with the satchel, but not very good at dealing with the blitz if you get hooked. Not that many champs are.
The Nautilus can buffer out the hook if you hit on the terrain, though, so you can do it that way. Nocturne, open and available, something that you can sort of commit to the dive with. Obviously, more of a carry, can get to the back line. Hard to knock away as well with a Poppy, with our spell shield, and the blitz not the most effective pick into it. Question is, what do you pair with it in the mid lane? Obviously, Orianna was gone long ago.
Yep, game 1. BD's got a little smirk. Zoe. Are they just going to lock it in? Try to outrange the Victor and the blitz. He's going to do it. We got Zoe in game 4.
So, adds a bit to the poke that the Ziggs has. Little bit awkward with the composition. Something we often talk about is comp cohesiveness. It's a little bit of a struggle. Oh, so it's going to be Poppy top.
Poppy top. There you go.
Okay.
Kiana here for Canyon.
So Canyon's going to play the Kiana jungle. We're getting the Poppy top into the Renekton, which is a matchup that Keen can definitely just farm up on, but I think Perfect should be fine with that. We're getting the Nocturne in the jungle with the... It's kind of weird, okay? I guess maybe the thought process is you land the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, and both, you just send the Nocturne and the Ziggs in on the target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just throw stuff at people.
It's a bit of a weird one. They do have a lot of poke. There is ways in which they outrange enemy composition, but I feel like stepping up against a Blitzcrank going to be difficult. They do have obviously the spell shield from the Nautilus. Still not the Nautilus, from the Nocturne. On the side of GENG, their comp feels a lot more straightforward. The Kiana is kind of the wild card element of this composition. Really comes down to Canyon having a good game when he has had a bit of a rough series, so we'll see what he can do.
All roads lead to the GENG win. One of those signs says, hoping for a 5-gamer. I'm not sure if this one gets them across the line. They are playing the Ziggs, but I don't know. This looks like a comp that GENG could definitely win on. The Poppy top comes out here for Keen. We'll see how he looks here as we hop onto the Rift for game number 4. All right, game number 4. KT want to keep their hopes alive. There's the flash, and the hook comes out from the side of Duro. Peter walking towards them for a moment. Not scared of anything. Yep,
he does just walk it off there. Doesn't have to be in his own flash. So pretty nice for the side of KT with a flash advantage in the bot lane. I do think it was cute that GENG did that little triple flex with the Poppy. I think the Kiana can have a lot of value. The first Kiana game we had, was it Ona who played it?
Wasn't it a DK player? Because Charvel was there, and they were like, yeah, just put in Charvel for the Kiana jungle thing, and then it was actually Lucid who played it.
No, I can't actually remember. I should.
If it wasn't Lucid, it was Owner, because it was it was a jungler in that series who did play it.
I'm gonna check.
Ox is gonna take a little check.
I'm not gonna just falsify things, you know.
Yeah, you would never.
I would never just make things up.
Never. Especially about other casters on the team.
No, everything I say about Chronicle is the truth. I want you to know that. If I suddenly stop speaking and I get dragged away from the mic, it's Chronicler and he's trying to keep me down.
Makes sense, honestly. I mean, it's the kind of guy he is.
No, right. It was Lucid.
It was Lucid, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because Charvel was there, and he's like the guy from Challengers.
Right, yeah, it was that series, though, okay.
Yeah.
But it was Lucid.
So we're not falsifying anything here.
Apologies for initially being incorrect.
Oh. All right, going in is perfect. Keen level 1.
Okay, good start.
Level 2 here. Could look for a hook, but yeah, well, it's going to be the other guy. Peter's going to get that one. The knockup comes in onto Peter from Duro.
Yeah, Duro's grab was actually on cooldown there. It just came up, so Wasn't as, it looked like he was posturing very aggressively, like he's gonna grab. It was actually just came up after that trade, so he kind of set himself up to be punished. But yeah, not too much action happening so far. I'm interested to see how BDD can do on the Zoe. We haven't seen the Zoe for a while.
He is one of the guys.
He is one of the guys, yeah.
He is one of the Zoe guys. Here at the LCK, who used to play it a lot. It was during that time where Zoe was actually really good. Oh, nice. Gonna take down that minion and follow up with the grab immediately after.
Yeah, we'll get the barrier from Ruler and a decent trade onto him. And he's actually just backing away to recall?
Just leave.
Okay. You know what, the thing I find the most annoying about Kiana is she can just dash all the time and be invisible all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. It's not permanent.
You get enough ability haste, might as well be.
BDD has played 55 games of Zoe. That's just an incredible amount. Trade of flashes here for Peter is actually really nice.
Yeah, I mean, Chovy, you kind of react to it immediately. It comes in, but I don't know how much he needed a flash there. Like, I'm not sure BDD could have 100%.
What about the lollipop, though?
No, he would have hit if he hadn't flashed, but I don't think he would have died. But I guess it's one of those situations where in the moment, the Nautilus flash hooks, you just flash. And that's our job as casters. We do the hindsighting, you know?
Yeah.
But either way, Peter's going to be happy. He sees that as a success. He trades his flash. He has Hex flash. He's fine with that. And Chovy now going to be a bit more vulnerable. Not sure we'll get a punish, though, for the Nocturne gets 6. But we know now, when does he need to be careful? When it's about 30 seconds away from being...
Yeah. Got to be very careful there, Chovy.
That's when everyone ganks, as we've learned.
Yeah. It's a good time to gank. I remember when Zoe was giga OP, and it's probably a lot of the games, actually, that BDD has under his belt was during that time. He's going to save the smite for Chovy and takes a good trade. Victor doesn't have a very fun time into Zoe. We're going to see the hook here as here comes Peter going in. Going to land his dredge line in onto Duro. But just a trade at the end of the day.
Yep. And he just keeping the pressure up in the mid lane. Chovy on the back foot here. It's just not, you know what, I think it's the items. I think she's just one of those champions that are annoying because of that damage.
Yeah.
But also just the items. Do you remember when she just used to get, like, was it Redemption? She used to get...
Yeah. All right, little gank here from Canyon. Perfect, in a bit of trouble, gonna land the walk stun.
Yeah, I think
just gets out with
that
the
was the right call because the execute damage on the Kiana is pretty high. Oh.
We got Cuz coming in. Cuz is level 5. All right, gonna just flash the dredge line just to be careful. Duro gets satcheled back.
You gotta watch out for the tower. But they get a flash from Ruler, so pretty big pickup, and Ruler is recalling again. Gonna back away from this one. And it looks like now they're gonna go for the swap, him going up towards the top side. Oh, this might mean Dr. Am gets some plate time?
Plate time?
Hitting towers?
That's Ziggs' favorite time.
He got the Lost Chapter back, which is pretty big. Oh no. His jungler's like, help with Dragon. He's like, oh, but the plates.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think Duckdown needed to be here. They have so much pressure in mid, and as we know, Canyon is nowhere to be found, so again, hindsighting. Definitely did not need to be there, but it's fine.
Yeah. It's a little sad. I'm sure he'll get a chance to hit some plates later.
Yeah. No play time for Ziggs. Not yet. Early Ocean Drake again. We've had a bunch of these. Could try to gank top, but...
We have level 6 on the Nocturne. We've had so many games, I feel like, where the Nocturne's gotten like an early kill, early assist, or several. And it's been like, he's gotten the ultimate hunter stacks, he gets his Hex Plate, and his ult's like a 60-second cooldown in no time at all. Okay, maybe not that low, but not having that in this one. So I feel like it puts so much weight on the first ult to get some kills, or at least a kill. So we'll see what Cuz can do with that. Right now, we kind of have Peter moving around the top side, trying to set some support up for his team. It's given the confidence for Perfect to push up and push his wave in. And Dr. Am's just chilling alone on the Ziggs. He's vibing. just doing Ziggs things.
Yeah.
Keen has gone the tier on the Poppy. Presumably going for
Wintering Fimble.
Winter's Approach, Fimble Winter.
Yeah.
I mean, you can proc it pretty often, and it does give like kind of crazy the shield value over the course of a fight. It's pretty high.
And any amount of shielding, I feel like it's going to be pretty good. Although the Renekton is going to enjoy that.
I mean, it could also just be a tier buy early that you sit on. I guess we'll find out.
Our players here at the LCK do not do that.
Yeah, true.
It's not
Actually,
a
maybe it's like the the Iceborne Gauntlet with the tier, and that helps you proc the the Winter's Approach. The Fimble Winter helps you proc it because you get the slow on the auto. Oh god, I think Doctor would have been in trouble, but he ults the wave.
Yeah.
And he does scout out Canyon with the minefield. And so in return, KT, they got that Fierce Dragon, the Ocean Dragon as well. A nice one to pick up early. They'll get the grubs too, so it's a pretty nice early start.
Yeah. It's a quiet one, but it's one where KT aren't falling massively behind, so that's going to be a good look for them.
Yeah, we have seen Perfect fall a little bit behind in terms of the farm department. How did he know?
Oh, he's not here, I guess.
He's checking the brush.
Yeah.
BD now with heal in pocket. Yeah, fun champ.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Zoe, you don't really have to interact with Victor. He tries to laser you, you're out of range. And then if you land a bubble, he can't do anything except put down a stun field and
hope.
Maybe he gets a trade at the end, but if the Zoe plays it well, you don't. So you just kind of sit there and take a bunch of damage. You can clear waves at least as Victor.
We did get his flash back up though. You know, we were talking about that window of the punishment just before the flash is coming up. Seems like Chovy did play safe around that. The punish didn't come in, and it's been pretty slow, measured game. Both teams not really going super aggressive.
Yeah.
And this does feel like it's a very feast or famine game. You know, one team has a Kiana, which that champ is the most. Honestly, I've seen so many games that champion is just completely useless or just kills everyone instantly.
Yeah.
And on the other side, Zoe, Nocturne, definitely champions where if you fall behind, borderline useless. If you're ahead, so annoying to deal with.
Yeah. You get the Wolf turret mid. Zoe tier 1. You begin to snowball really heavily, very quickly on the Zoe. If you lose your turret, well, you're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
You can't look for picks. You don't have vision. You just kind of sit there, clear waves, but you're not even as good as other champs, other control mages at clearing waves. You're still pretty good, but
the problem is it's just like you have to kind of ult in to clear the wave, and then you can just get like lasered or hit by ruler and chunked. It feels pretty bad. Propane Hydra for Canyon. Spooky item. It just makes me think of Aatrox. You know when he had that build and was just one-shotting?
That wasn't very fair, that build. I'm glad that's gone.
Is Aatrox ever fair? There's so many builds where it's just not okay.
Peter just hiding on bush, seeing what he can see.
Oh.
He is going to get hooked, though, and now Canyon's here, and the flash in front of the dredge line as Canyon gets in range. As Nocturne is coming in, a ton of damage coming out from Ducktop. Peter does go down, but the trade might just go over to KT as they take down Canyon. They're looking for Duro. And here comes Chovy just to push them away, but BDD has flashed himself and can just flash over, and eventually Duro will die. And the kill also goes over to BDD, who is now 2-0 on the Zoe.
Nice cleanup there. I feel like GENG commit heavily for the pick onto the support. So much resources poured into killing Peter. And as a result, the turnaround pretty swift from the side of KT. Also Ziggs with 3 grubs. Getting a lot of value. Here, Peter didn't go for the dredge line cancel. I think maybe, well, he didn't have vision at the time. And then the block from Duro. But then they also commit the flash ult from the Kiana. And he just lives a bit too long.
It's Nautilus.
Yeah. And then Canyon has already just lost all his health here. Cuz chases after Duro, and BDD has flash. Like, Chovy puts the ground. Oh.
Chovy in a lot of trouble here. We got the storm down, but red buff even ticking as there's the empowered auto from BDD, who is now 3-0 and 1,000 gold ahead.
He's 3-0. Cuz has Hexplate and 2 kills for the Ultima Hunter, so his ult cooldown is significantly dropped. you know, these comps, there was elements of them that were feast or famine.
All right, trying to do something here,
just
but
walk it out, yeah. I feel like KT, the two people he wanted to get ahead, BDD now has a big gold lead, and cause he gets his first item and those Ultimate Hunter stacks, he's so strong.
Yeah, he really is. Fear comes in.
Well,
on a cannon, just
yeah, you can't
pushes them away.
Oh,
Peter out of the wall. And they really want to kill Peter a lot. The ult is not going to hit, and so Peter just going to dredge line into the further wall. Not a very difficult one to miss.
Yeah.
Or to hit, rather.
You know, Kiana is one of these champions. Oh, Peter just tried to portal. He tried to hex gate with the blue buff on him.
Yeah.
Kiana is one of these champions that, like, you see some people on this pick, and it just looks like they do more damage. They just look so mechanically proficient. It's insane. Canyon not showing that yet. The sleep lands. Oh, so much burst damage. He's just kiting the storm.
Yeah, nice to see the farming afterwards. But yeah, he's just calling the whole play the whole way through as he hits the sleep.
As soon as he hits the sleep, that play is just achieved. It's in the bag.
Yeah.
And now they're in such a strong position going forwards. You know, 2 dragons in pockets, a Hextech Soul as well. They have the 3 grubs. Plates do go down. Let's see how many the Ziggs actually got off the bot lane. But even so,
he got like 3? No, 2.
For gold from 2.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but you know, they did kind of just leave the Ziggs alone and play through the rest of the map. Level 11 now on BDD, and he is so strong. 6 stacks on the Dark Seal as well.
And a needlessly large rod.
And I'm just saying,
next.
This draft, the triple flex of the Poppy, and given the Kiana to Canyon, I am yet to be impressed. And Canyon is obviously, we've seen him play so many picks through his career. At times, he's played very mechanically intensive picks. We know what he can be capable of. He needs to show up. You know, you can't have last pick Kiana and come in and be missing ults on a Nautilus who just is walking in a straight line.
Yeah, absolutely. That was definitely one where everybody saw it and everybody would just said oof collectively.
Yeah.
You know, it's just very obvious. I'm sure Canyon feels pretty bad about it, but hopefully he can turn it around because they need him. Absolutely need him in this game. He's going to be one of the answers to the Zoe. If they can close the distance, it will be the Kiana.
Yep. Honestly, he's one of the major threats onto the back line that they kind of need. Otherwise, you're just going to get poked out from a distance.
Yeah.
Genji trying to set up in the Herald. It's risky, though. If you get onto the Herald, it kind of sets up in a position where BDD can just fire poke at you if you start hitting it. You know, he's in a prime spot here.
There it is. Bubble is going to come down, and now Chovy, oh, he's just barely going to avoid that, as now the turn comes in onto the Ziggs. Duckdom in a bit of trouble. He's trying to satchel away. The ult is going to miss from the Poppy, as now Keen is in a whole lot of trouble. You see that damage coming out from the Poppy, and GENG just have to get away. The damage from the Zoe, rather, as BDD picks up more stacks, and Duckdom lives as well.
Yeah, Duckdom able to move in and clear the way. Oh!
Yeah, he...
That's a lot of... Oh, it lands!
Uh-oh. There's a lot of trouble here for Chovy, and he goes as the giant bomb from the Ziggs on top of the Zoe damage is just too much to deal with, although nobody's dying. Everybody actually lives on the side of GENG.
So low. Canyon blocking the damage there. Looked like it was going to backfire massively, but in the end, able to save Chovy in that situation, just about. Not quite having the damage to finish him off, not quite having the damage to finish Canyon. It's so spooky, it's so scary.
Yeah.
This is not a fun game to play. These bubbles land and it's so dangerous. And here, Keen finds the Ziggs, but the follow-up's not there immediately. It's a great satchel away. And Duckdom able to disengage from the situation, puts the damage back on the Poppy, just gets deleted. And then GENG in this uncomfortable spot. And here, BDD gets so much damage. The thing is, because his ult's always going to go back, he's not under threat. If they commit anything, he just goes back. This bubble is beautiful. Unfortunately here, it doesn't quite hit the Q onto Canyon.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, and a lot of flashes burned to get out of that.
Oh, hook here on a Canyon. Sleepy Trouble bubble on top of it. We got Canyon in a ton of trouble, as it's not going to hit once again. BDD pulling these short just barely a couple of times. And to be fair, I mean, he was very far away, but if that lands, maybe Canyon just dies. The amount of damage that he has now is they're going to pull the trigger here on Achovi. He doesn't have his flash, but Perfect does. Goes in with the stun and takes him out. Canyon not going to hit it again.
I think that was spell shielded actually from Cuz.
Yeah.
So pretty nice there. Able to pick up Chovy. And now looking towards his dragon. Oh my, the poke!
You wanted banana brush control.
There you go.
What you got is mines and a bubble.
This Poppy is also going to Bruiser build, not that tanky. You can see quite clearly. Third dragon for KT. If they get Hextech Soul, you cannot play Hextech Soul into this comp that KT has when they have Hextech Soul.
Yeah.
Like, you're already struggling to get on top of them. They have so much poke. They're so able to prod the enemy team. And now they have that in pocket. It is so massive. Yeah, so here, I mean, goes for the laser, immediately gets punished. Flash from Perfect's great. And then I think it's here, yeah. Spell shields just on the back end off it. I mean, honestly, he probably could have just walked out of it anyway, but it's about sending the message.
About saying you knew and that you predicted it.
Yeah.
Or that you reacted to it.
I'm going to be honest, the Kiana has felt pretty useless. The Bruiser Poppy, not really hitting the mark. Victor getting bullied out by BDD's Zoe. Ruler's trying his best. And Duro, I think, is... I don't think Duro's done anything wrong, really.
Yeah, they're just not really in a position to utilize the Blitzcrank.
Yeah.
There's so many of these fights where it's like, you know, somebody gets caught and he can't land a hook and turn the fight around, so you just kind of have this Blitzcrank sitting around.
Look at BDD and Doctam's inventories.
Yeah.
Like, they are both about to hit the same spike.
But one of them has a 7-stack Dark Seal.
Yeah, I mean, of course, BDD is more fed. But, like, once they both hit the Shadow Flame, they're both going to upgrade to Tier 3 boots, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be in time for Soul Fight, or maybe just Atakan, right? And they're going to be so strong. It's very spooky. It's very spooky for GENG. And it's not even October yet.
It's pretty close, though.
It is getting pretty close.
We are almost halfway through September.
But it isn't spooky season yet. I will say the supermarkets in the UK, they would, you know, Easter would be done and they'd have Halloween decorations out. I'm like, chill out, please.
Yeah. Got to move on to the next holiday so people can spend more money on it.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you get as much as possible. So yeah, sitting on Hextech Soul Point with your 2 carries about to hit the giant spike. What does GENG have to do here?
I think you need picks. I think you need to find isolate members and explode them. It's hard because you're into a Nocturne who can be there so quickly, but you need to find targets who are alone and isolate and just burst them, explode them, pop them before they can really get a chance to set up. It's important that you still have your mid-tier 1, so that can be a point of strength you can play around. But one thing that can happen is if you blow up one target quickly and it's a high-value target, and then Nocturne comes in, he ults in to save, it's kind of like a TP, right? You can't cancel it, and sometimes you end up going into a situation where you don't want to be there. You committed the ult, and you're like, oh no, I no longer want to commit to this.
Yeah.
So they say catch a grab onto Doctam, and then Cuz ults in, you kill him too. That could turn this game around, because even though everything's stacked in favor of KT, they're still pretty far. The gold lead isn't that big. And also, somehow, GENG is 20 petals to 3 again. How?
They're making a statement. It's only Peter the Pedal Peddler that's getting the pedals.
Yeah, Peter the Pedal Peddler is the only one allowed to take pedals, apparently. The rest of them just don't believe in it.
They say they don't have the time.
They
but
honestly,
you always have the time if you make time.
They need to hire, like, a florist who just, for KT, who just comes in and just tells them the importance of pedals. Yeah. To pedal the pedals to them, because...
Pedal the pedal to the pedal peddler?
Yes.
Peter?
This is kind of unreal. Like, because they've had control in this game. It's very clear they're just not hitting them.
They just don't want them.
I don't get it, because it's like...
They're making a statement.
Like, I'd understand if they made, like, a really annoying noise when you hit them, but they don't. Maybe they need to give it so whenever you hit the pedal, it makes the hard steel noise.
Oh, yeah.
Then KT would...
They need a good noise for that.
Just makes the hard... Oh, my God. You could take the stats away, give them the hard steel noise, and I'd just be hitting them all day.
Yeah.
To be fair, even if without the noise, I'm just...
You're still hitting them.
Yeah. There's something about them, you know?
You mentioned upgraded boots. Duckdom just got the upgraded boots.
Oh, yeah. This is the moment. this is the big spike.
We've been waiting around for this.
BDD hasn't got his yet, but this is like a super... We do have the spike coming in from Ruler, though. He's gotten his upgraded Mirror Mana, so he's pretty strong. But Doctam and BDD, if BDD can get a recall now and get his upgraded boots, he also has TP. This is like both your carries are spiking super hard. And if you set up the poke here around this Hextech Soul, you can just take over. Get the vision. The vision's really important. Yep, there are those upgraded boots. So KT playing those spikes really well. Didn't buy a control ward. I'm going to assume he didn't have enough money. I hope coaches, you know, in the coaching booth like, oh man. But they're going to control the area, and this makes it so hard to approach. No one is really tanky enough to face check a bubble into the poke.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to use the Herald to try and force their way in.
I mean, that's one way to do it, but again, it feels very forced as now the bubble's going to hit Ruler. He's miles away from the fight.
I think Doctam should have ulted him. I think if he ulted him, he's just out the fight completely.
Yeah, well, maybe they're going to use the Poppy. Oh, no, it's going to miss. And the Spell Shield was there, just in case. And it looks like we're just going to get a flip here as the engage goes in on the Keen. I think you got to look at that Drake, though. Don't want to give this up for free, cuz it's not going to get the smite. And GENG just get the Drake and might just be able to get out. They're spending all this time killing Keen. And it looks like they will get him. Ruler and Duro considering it, but GENG, they're going to buy some time. They take the Drake away.
Yeah, so Drake for GENG is a big pickup. It's worth for that one trade. It's what can KT get after? Oh!
Oh, he doesn't miss. BDD is just on a tear right now. Dredgeline going to hit Canyon.
Yeah, KT can force him off and get this mid lane tower. So a big pickup here. Oh! The beach ball.
It's so spooky.
So I still think, even though it's not like a win for GENG in terms of like they lost a kill, they lost the tower, denying the dragon is massive. I think the game might just be over if you lose the Hextech Soul. So I think they can be happy to some degree with how this panned out. And KT put a lot of focus in the Keen. Keen soaking the pressure. Cuz doesn't manage to get the smite. And then he just goes, you know what, we'll just take the Poppy kill. Moves over there, takes that. And then their position here, they have control of this side of the map, around the center, around mid, and they're able to zone them away very effectively with their composition. I will say though, considering how much KT was spiking in terms of items, the fact that GENG managed to get that specific dragon is very big, because that was definitely a point I was extremely worried about how a 5v5 would go.
Just felt like if KT were a little bit more aggressive down the river, like could have at least poked them out.
It's difficult with their composition because you're playing around like poke and you're playing around like the Sleepy Trouble bubble. So if one is hit, if one misses or you use it and it's on cooldown, you can't just run at the enemy team. It's not like GENG's comp last game where you just run at the enemy team when you're strong.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So I think they had to some degree give up some space, which obviously let GENG get in. Now though, GENG is setting up around Atakan. This is a dangerous game. Oh, the double blue trinket though. Yeah. Was that double? Or was that, they only have one?
I think it was just one.
Okay, it looked like two for some reason.
Yeah. Trying to look for the hook, not gonna hit it.
A little spooky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spookiness all around.
You don't need to get baited by the Atakan either.
Yeah, just poke them out.
Yeah, just land some poke. But I think, honestly, the Sleepy Trouble Bubble into Zig's ult combo at this point, I don't think, it's not one-shot level, but it's enough to send someone home.
Yeah.
Send them to the base.
And Ruler doesn't have TP. Yes, there are Hex Gates, but maybe...
Although you have the Nocturne as well, so maybe Sleepy Trouble Bubble into Mega Infinity into Nocturnal.
That is the idea.
But you're probably just killing the Nocturne if you send them into like 5 people just to finish off a low HP target. So I don't think it's needed.
But if it were Ruler in mid lane, alone...
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Oh, they're TPing Peter back in to keep up the pressure. Okay. Canyon is just able to kind of sit in this brush and spam invisibility and be annoying.
Yeah.
He is also level 15. He has farmed pretty effectively this game.
It's pretty much all he's been doing. As Chovy's top.
They want to force a TP. This is a dangerous spot to be in against the Kiana, though.
Yeah, I gotta be careful to get the TP in the back. They know they're ahead, but they know that one fight could turn it.
Yeah, and you don't want to get Kiana ulted there against... Oh, man. Especially with a shred from the Anakin, you just get decimated.
Yeah.
Oh, Cuz did go for recall, picks up the Sterak's. So it's kind of this, you have the Hex Gates which get you back quicker, but we kind of have this delicate position where both teams are like trying to recall, trying to get back, keeping up the pressure. Atakan not want to give anything up. If you want to push a wave in a different lane, it's like you have limited time windows to do it. It's a minute till Dragon though, and I think that's why both teams have kind of gone, okay, we need to go recall. We have had more items come in, but it's not like full items, just components. So no one's really hitting a big major spike after the spikes we had from the last Dragon. And I do think part of a factor of that is we've been sharing waves. Everyone's been so focused on this Atakan, they haven't actually been farming as efficiently. And so we haven't had people completing or just getting as much gold as before. Oh.
All right.
Okay, it was just on the Keen, so.
Yeah, he can. Just, oh, the knock coming to the hook! And Duro just sits him down, says take a seat, although the damage is coming out from the Ziggs. And they're trying to push into this one. The Victor, though, is totally saved, and a ton of damage is coming out from Ruler at the same time. The poke, though, is going to get Duro down. Keen's perfect around. Oh! He's just walking over mines and getting hit by bombs. And that is not what you want to see if you're a GENG fan. Ruler, though, trying to frontline here. And is doing a ton of damage. Keen as well. Super low, has to walk away.
Doctam saving the play there. Oh! Close.
The Dragon's up.
Yeah, because they're still alive. Canyo's not off for a while. They can get Soul here. They're going to get back on the map quickly. It's Hex Gates as well. This was huge from Duro, but it ends up backfiring. He flashes to get the play, gets the Zoe, but they chase into the Ziggs. And the mine value is so huge here. Doctam just placing down these minefields as they're kiting backwards.
This one
here. It does so much damage. Chovy walks into like all of them. Look how low he is.
Yeah.
And he gets hit by a bouncing bomb into the Comet. Oh, it's massive. And that secures them soul. Doctam's such a hero. And now looking at Atakan as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
If he minefields, he just did it. Minefields that choke there. You just can't approach. Okay, they back away. I think it's the right call. You don't need to rush into this. You have Hextech Soul.
And if they try to do it, you can just poke them down, essentially. You see Canyon gets hit by one thing.
Oh, and with the Hextech Soul as well, once you get hit, you get clipped by illusions, everyone's slowed in the whole team.
Yeah.
Then the bouncing bomb hits. It's so frustrating to play into. And now they're considering looking for this. They have chunked them out and forced them away. Clear the vision out.
Yeah. I mean, you can move in, you can clear vision. If you do commit, though, you just got to play it carefully once again. As they know this is happening, Ward is nearby. Canyon is going to walk up through the bottom lane. And that has been the angle of attack. That bubble's going to hit Duro, going to delay him, but still, the respect shown by KT.
They know they have the soul for the rest of the games. They just don't need to do anything crazy. And it's, you know, GENG can't just rush Atakan into this composition. So they're trying to set up in a position where they can do it, but again, their composition isn't the best for just raw brawling, so they don't want to get stuck on the objective and bait them in. But a big spike coming in, Void Staff completed there for Doctam. I think BDD's approaching his third item as well. That's a lot of damage. Ziggs does do a lot of damage.
Yeah. And a lot of just damage that's sitting on the ground that he doesn't need to be casting for if you lay down the mines and everybody starts walking over them. It was so funny that Chovy like walked back through the mines, like he tried to like get all of them, like tried to collect them all.
You know what's funny is that Chovy, when he played Ziggs, he maxed W second, right? Yeah. He didn't max E second. Maybe he's just not used to Ziggs mines doing so much damage. You know?
Calling him out.
They do a lot of damage when you max them, right? Yeah. Doctam, he's got that. He maxed that E second. He did the big damage with the mines, you know.
Yeah. Team blue buff over here.
So has to be respected. It's not a huge goal lead, but there's so many things stacked in favor. The only thing not stacked in favor really is the pedals. 21-3 still. It does mean if you get the Atakan though, it's very significant because pedals are worth more the less you have.
Yeah.
So it would give.
Uh-oh.
They have to zigzag.
Zigzag over the top. There's the Nocturne. That's the combo. They don't get the kill though. Ruler going to live, and BDD says, "I'll get the kill. Don't you worry." As he's going on in, they keep him around with the bubble. As everybody doesn't get to play the game, they're just running away, tail tucked, and there's nothing they can do. As now they've got an opportunity to go for that Atakan.
Their jungler is down, but Cuz is up a good amount sooner than Canyon is. Ah!
Looking for it again. BDD playing with fire. He's got that flash. As now the damage comes in. Toby steps up and dies. Toby, no. 0 and 4 on the Victor. And KT, now they'll take this Otacon.
That's going to be enough for it. Take out the mid laner as well. I love Cuz just flying in, sacrifices himself for the kill, but the cleanup's there. The artillery cannon's firing, backing up the Nocturne. And GENG just don't really have a response to these long-range picks. So the Sleepy Trouble bubble hits.
No flash,
there.
no flash.
After the ult, he almost gets one shot. He does just survive, but then Spears is there. The second bubble comes through.
Keep going.
Oh, and he finds it again.
Let's look for one more.
And then here, Chovy cancels the back. They look for him with the hook, but then he has that flash in pocket.
This is not fine.
Yeah. Look at that damage from the Ziggs.
His score. He's losing his mind. They might be sending GENG to a game 5 if they win this.
And remember, if they win this, then is one last game for Worlds qualification.
That's insane.
They are in such a good position on this one. They got the Otacon, they put them up to 13 petals. It's a lot of XP. Obviously, the less you have, the more it's worth. Doctam is now level 17, by the way. He is the highest level in the game. He's only slightly behind Perfect on XP. The Ziggs is pumping damage at the moment. And I'm going to be real, the Kiana's been pretty much invisible. The Bruiser Poppy has kind of been whatever. Chovy's been struggling, he's been outranged. Ruler is kind of the only real threat, and he's got no sums. Yeah. They don't have the Mikhails as well for the Sleepy Trouble bubble, so if he gets hit by a sleep, he's just kind of cooked, as we saw there.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like not just Duro, but the team themselves are so far behind that they're just lacking significant item breakpoints like that Mikhails. And just for, you know, a couple more items for the Victor could be enough to potentially fight back in some of these poke wars, but
it's just the range
getting outranged.
Yeah, it's so hard to deal with the range. If you're ahead, it's a different story because you can move forward, you can threaten hooks, you can control areas. When you're behind and the enemy team has a Hextech Soul, you can't even walk up, really, in this situation. And the fact that your Kiana, this Feast of Famine pick, is so far, I mean, not even behind in goal, but just not relevant.
Yeah.
You need to be ahead of the curve with this pick. And I can't even remember a single play Canyon's made this game that's felt impactful.
It just hasn't been one.
It just hasn't hit.
He had a couple opportunities earlier, but after all the Drakes went over essentially for free, there wasn't much they could do. We got Elder spawning right now, and they still can't really approach. I mean, they're trying to push mid as a team.
The thing is, you can't trade Elder for Baron. We've seen that obviously backfire before.
Yeah.
Into a Zig Zoe. They can siege without Baron. You give them Elder, they'll just take your base. They have gotten control of the river pretty well.
Yeah.
This is good for GENG, but they have to try and stop KT pushing in. The Gravity Field will do a decent job. They're starting the objective.
They're just going to start it up and just hope for a flip. And if they get it, maybe they can win it. I mean, GENG, they're not out of it just yet. The poke is coming in. As now the Paranoia, and the massive bomb onto 5! As the damage is there, Toby is dead, but Ruler is still alive. The hook onto Perfect might just be enough as he goes into GA. Ruler's still alive, gonna take out the Nautilus. As BDD and Ducktom, they're kind of flying alone here. Perfect, pretty low.
Canyon's still up is the big thing. They need to get the Dragon to reset because he's got a smite.
Ruler, he's just desperately asking for one auto.
Oh, Perfect found Canyon.
Perfect did find Canyon. As now where did the Blitz go? Where did the Corki go? They're both dead to the Zoe and the Ziggs.
BDD Zoe brings it out on match point for GENG, and he brings out the classic to win the game. Now, Canyon's coming down with Smite. This is risky if you can get there in time. Cuz is up in 10 though, and he has ult as well.
They have so much vision. Well, at least in the Banana Brush. They have
make or break.
Here.
This is make or break for Canyon.
Oh, he's spotted. And now they can just wait. TP coming in from Chovy.
Wait, Cuz is gonna gate in and then he can ult. He can just ult.
Yeah, he can just ult. Poke coming in, they're trying to burst it down. Is Canyon gonna land an ult, and now it just goes to Smite. As in goes Cuz, he takes the Elder, and that should be it. KT gonna be forcing a game 5 here against GENG tonight.
What an absolute masterclass on this pick. BDD dominating on the Zoe, up against Chovy as well. KT taking this to game 5, trying to look to qualify for Worlds. GENG looked undefeatable. The last time they lost in a best of 5 was the LCK Cup, and now they're being taken to 5 games by KT.
Taking to 5 games in this manner, they definitely would not have expected it, as BDD is going to get hooked in. Do they have the damage? They're all tanking the turrets and stuff. I think only Ruler against Elder buff is not going to be enough, though, as he is going to take out one. Cuz is pretty low, but they just turn onto him, and that's going to be enough. 38 minutes in, Elder too strong as they close it out and bring us to Silver Scrapes.
I mean, it was just such a performance from BDD on this Zoe in particular. The amount of bubbles he was landing, the amount of pressure he had. Dura tried multiple times flashing to punish him, and it just wasn't enough. And the team, I feel like, set him up well. You know, Doctam on the Ziggs, there was that one fight where BDD died, and Doctam was just kiting and putting the mines down. GENG, we said in game 3, it looked like they were back in form, and yet we're going to game 5. After this performance, look at the damage from the carries, are absolutely massive. GENG just not able to find good footing. Canyon invisible on this pick. It has been an absolute jungle gap throughout this series. Last game was the only real exception. So going into that game 5, he really needs to step it up.
Absolutely does. I'm just wondering what we're going to see in terms of picks. The Zoe already utilized. We didn't expect it here in game 4, but it just shows that they are prepared to go deep against a team like GENG. As the tiers are a bit early, guys. I mean, it's going to Silver Scrapes, and we will have that song playing for you guys during the break here. They want to go to Worlds. That's what the sign says. They want it right here, right now. No lower bracket run. But even if they do get sent to lower bracket after this performance, could be a favorite as a dark horse. We'll have to wait and see, guys, after the break.
끌려서 노틸이 공바가 좀 좋아.
다음 거에 W 쓸게. 오케이, W 컷.
내 뒤에 있거나 그 옆에 있거나.
마무리해볼게. 마무리한 거 같아. 마무리했다.
나이스.
오케이.
그렇게 높을. 야, 라인 끌고 오지 말고. 나 봐줘.
아니, W 다 나빠 생각해.
잡았나? 일단 그냥 깨면 될 것 같은데? 깨자. 깨면 될 것 같아, 얘들아. 깨자. 천천히. 끝났어. 깨면 돼. 깨야 돼. 깨. 깨자.
나 잡았어.
나이스. 가보자.